an Iranian guy here, and I want to share my thoughts with you about my Indian cousins. Firstly, Mr. Chowda, you said something that you should remember forever. Israel is no one's ally, let alone a vassal. They may have some vassals, and he says that the biggest one is the US, but they surely aren't anybody's vassal. So, okay, that's the first statement he makes. I agree that they are no one's vassal. I don't think they are the United States' vassal. I don't think so. I don't think the US owns and controls the nation of Israel. And he says it's the other way around, that Israel actually is the nation that controls the US, that has the US as its vassal. Well, let me not go into that at all, but that's what he is saying. Okay, I'm not going to comment on that. Next, I am shocked, secondly, by the fact that most Indians consider Israel to be their ally, because Israel shares no values with the people of India. The biggest one in India is cultural tolerance, which Israel is empty of. That's what he says. So I would agree that India and Israel are culturally very different. We don't have any shared culture or shared values or civilization values. We are very different cultures. India is a dharmic culture with a 10,000 plus year old history. Israel is the original Abrahamic culture, which with a history that goes back about 3,000 years. And their value system and their culture is extremely different from the dharmic value system. I'm not saying this is right or that is wrong, it's just very different. The two cultures are kind of diametrically opposite of each other in a lot of ways. That's something Indians don't seem to realize. Next, so please understand that by putting this out there, I am not being anti-Israel or pro-Israel or anything. I have absolutely nothing against Israel. I admire the nation of Israel in a lot of ways. But let's understand the various perspectives that people have, and let's understand what the Indian perspective should be. So next, Israel is the number one ally of Azerbaijan, which is a fact. Yes, it's a fact. Also, Israel has a great relationship with Turkey. And both these nations are sworn enemies of India, Turkey and Azerbaijan, of course. And of course, India is supporting the nation of Armenia, with which we have 2,500 or 3,000 years of relationship, very good relations. And the Turks and the Azerbaijanis want to wipe Armenia off the map of the world, and India is trying to ensure that Armenia is not wiped out. And who is the ally of Azerbaijan and Turkey in this matter? It's Israel. Israel is opposing India's actions in this particular matter when it comes to Armenia, Azerbaijan, right? And Erdogan and Netanyahu are completely collaborating in destroying the Syrian government and taking Syria. Yes, and Syria had a reasonably good relationship with India. India and Mr. Assad, we had a reasonably good relationship. Assad was never anti-India. Syria was never anti-India, right? And do you forget Israel taking all its gas and oil from Turkey and Azerbaijan? Well, that's also a fact. No questions about it. And yeah, this is something I've spoken about multiple times, including on debates on Republic TV. I've said this about the Israel and Pakistan relationship. I must say there is plenty of evidence that proves Israel is helping terrorists in southwest Pakistan against Iran. So I don't think Israeli agents can infiltrate Pakistani land without the Pakistanis knowing it. Interesting point that Mr. Razai raises over here. I have spoken about this in the past. That what's the nature of the Israel-Pakistan relationship? I mean, Pakistan is a US vassal. The US is Israel's biggest ally. So what's the Israel-Pakistan relationship? Right? And there is no satisfactory answer to that. Israel and Pakistan don't have, I mean, the Pakistanis say that they don't recognize Israel, blah, 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 all words. But on the ground, what's happening? Right? Yeah, there you have it. And for the sake of God, please engrave what Mr. Chavda said about the flag on a golden slab and place it on top of a billboard for everyone to see. The only flag that you should ever place anywhere, be it on your home door or social media or anywhere else, is your own flag, not somebody else's flag. Indians love putting up other nations' flags on their social media profiles. Why? The only flag on your profile should be your own. So I completely agree with Mr. Razai over here. And and lastly, if you see Mr. Netanyahu shows so much audacity in his actions, it's because he's not paying the bills from his own pocket. He's paying the bills from the US taxpayers' pockets. Okay. And Israel is nothing without the US. It's wasal, according to Mr. Razai. If you see they are doing all of these things, it's because they know that they have the US with all of its might behind them, which is true. Israel is able to do whatever it does because of the unconditional support it always receives from the United States. So it's very interesting to see the Persian perspective on this matter. And it is very much and very largely in line with what I have been saying. That look, from my perspective, I have nothing against Israel, but we have to understand that the India-Israel relationship is based on limited shared interests and not broad shared values or shared culture or shared civilization. India is a huge nation with the largest economy outside of the West, which is why India is attractive for Israel. So we have shared interests in a variety of things, and which is why that's why we are cooperating. But to imagine that Israel is look, there are no friends in geopolitics. To imagine that Israel is India's friend, I'm not saying Israel is India's enemy by any metric whatsoever, but to imagine that Israel is India's friend is going a little bit too far. My main point is that I have nothing against Israel, but we have to be realistic in viewing the India-Israel relationship. It's not some ancient relationship based in shared ethnicity and shared culture and shared values. It is more of a relationship that is based on mutual benefit and mutual interests, not values, interests, not culture. There you have it.